What's going on, guys? It's Evo here. I'm with Madden Guardians, and we're bringing you a draft grades. Day one draft grades, the first round, all 32 picks. We're going to go over them. We're going to talk some football. I'm joined by Doc and Dante here. How's it going, guys? Thanks for coming in.
What's up, Evo? Yes, sir.
Man, I'm so excited for this. The draft is a special time of the year, and I got two football minds, two football guys here with me to break down the first round. It's going to be exciting. So let's just hop right into it. We're going to go division by division and give each team a draft grade for their first round draft, okay? So we're starting the AFC East. Dante, the floor is yours.
Okay, so starting it off, we got the New York Jets, and we all know who they took with their quarterback selection. They took Zach Wilson. And I think for this one, this has a lot of upside. If he hits, he could be like a Kyler Murray X, like Patrick Mahomes. Like, he has the mobility, the arm talent, everything. But he does remind me of Johnny Manziel. He has a low floor, like very low floor.
Yikes, that's not the compliment you want.
So for that, I would give him a B for that pick. So, I mean, Fields was the definite number 2 quarterback for me in this draft, and I think Wilson, he just had a couple of like great throws in college. People said he reminds me of Johnny Manziel because he just makes something out of hectic situations, and if you do that a lot in the NFL, it's not going to work out. So I have to give that a B.
Yeah, and then they also had another first-round pick. They traded for offensive guard Elijah Vera Tucker. What do you think about that one?
And I really like that pick. I think that's a big need for them because, first of all, Joe Douglas really emphasized that the reason Sam Darnold failed is because they had no offensive line. He was getting beat up, and they also had no weapons. They got Corey Davis in the offseason. Now they're trying to get the O-line. They're trying to get Zach Wilson set up in the best possible situation because if they're trying to make him be like a Patrick Mahomes 2.0, Mahomes had a great system around him. They're trying to build the best culture. They got Robert Allah. They got all those guys there. I really like that pick. I'd give him an A for that one.
Cool. So B for Zach Wilson, A for Vera Tucker. Would you give him like a B plus for day one?
I give him a B plus, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
There you go. We'll go ahead and bring out the next AFC East team.
So the Dolphins actually made a surprising pick. I really thought they were going to go Devonta Smith here. They go Jalen Waddle. I really like him. He kind of reminds me of Tyreek Hill. He's got like Henry Ruggs. Like, he's blazing fast. If him and Will Fuller on the same field is going to go insane. If Will Fuller can hopefully stay healthy, I don't know what's good with him. PEDs, injuries. He can't play more than 10 games in a season. They also got Devontae Parker. If Tua can really figure that out, that's going to be a scary offense. I really like Waddle. I'll give that an
A. Okay. They also picked up edge Jalen Phillips in the first as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about him. He's a good edge rusher. It really goes well with their defense. Their defense really surprised me. Like 2 years ago, watching that first game against the Ravens when they got absolutely shit on, and looking now, their defense is young, it's improving, and they just added a good edge rusher. I'd definitely give that a B for that one.
All right, so A for Waddle, B for Phillips. What's your overall day one grade for the Dolphins?
I give them a B.
All right, a B. I definitely think the Dolphins, Doc, you can chime in on this too. I think both of their picks are riskier picks, are very high upside, but very injury prone, right? Very risky. If it turns out, it could work out phenomenal. But if it doesn't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I think it's a risky draft for him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jalen Waddle, man. I think a lot of people compare him to Tyreek Hill. I think he reminds me of like a OBJ as far as like game speed. His game speed is a lot different than his 40 dash, you know. And, he had that injury, but if he didn't get hurt, we would have seen Waddle get the Heisman. And Devontae Smith said that out of his own mouth. He is the true number 1 receiver out of that Alabama core. So I think that they got a steal if he can stay healthy.
I think the same could be said for Jalen Phillips. A lot of people had Phillips as their number 1 pass rusher on the board, minus the injury concerns. Obviously something you got to factor in, something that time will only tell, but yeah, the Dolphins could have some stars in this class. So let's go ahead, head on over to the Patriots. What do you got for them, Dante?
So this one was actually an interesting pick because my team, the Chicago Bears, almost took this quarterback, Mac Jones. Now, this guy is very, very talked about. A lot of either you really like him or a lot of people really hate him. People say he's the most pro-ready quarterback. Obviously, I hate when people say that because literally every pro-ready quarterback that they say in every draft before has been terrible. Literally. If you look at past drafts, Patrick Mahomes, Watson, Rodgers, Josh Allen, even those guys. Josh Allen literally couldn't hit a fucking side of the barn if he tried, and now he's an MVP candidate. And Mac Jones, I mean, yeah, he's a good pocket passer, but I mean, the Patriots, I think they just got lucky with Tom Brady. I don't think they do it again. I don't think he does anything special that Cam Newton didn't do last year. So I'll give that a C+.
C+, yeah, definitely. The Patriots, they've done a lot of work to be win now. They still have Cam, but I agree. I feel like they don't have the talent around him to make him a Matt Ryan-esque kind of player, and that's something that you need to do with Mac Jones. I mean, he's used to having better talent than the players he's playing against. So I think it's a good fit, but I agree. In a different QB class, would he go in the first round?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
definitely. Probably higher, to be honest. His quarterback class is loaded.
Yeah, so a lot of times when you're drafting, you're looking for best player available. You're looking for who's the best at my position. If you draft for need, it might not work out too well for you, and that's kind of what the Patriots did. They had to draft to fill a need, and so I agree with that pick. That's C+. Let's go ahead and head over to the Bills. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
I was going to just chime in on Mac real quick. As an Alabama fan, Mac Jones is nothing special popping off the charts, so he's not an exciting pick. But if you look at how the Patriots run their organization, they need a quarterback that's going to listen to what the coaches are telling them and run that system. It's kind of like what Tom Brady did. And it'll be similar to the way that they did Goff with McVay. Goff was basically the puppet for McVay. And I think Mac Jones is going to do the same over there in New England.
Yeah, I think that is spot on. Very good analysis. I think that it is 100% accurate. So let's go ahead and head over to Buffalo, the Bills. They selected D-end Gregory Rousseau. What do you think about that one?
So this was an interesting pick because a lot like earlier in the year, Gregory Rousseau was a top pick, but he really fell in this draft. I really like this pick for the Bills. The Bills, really what they lacked on defense was pass rush. I feel like after watching a lot of their games, especially against the Chiefs, like they just got no pressure at all, it feels like. And they needed to get an edge rusher here. Gregory Rousseau fell in their lap. They didn't have to move up. They didn't have to trade down. They got him right at their spot. I really like this pick. I'll give him an A.
Ooh, an A, yeah. I mean, Doc, let me hear your insight on this one.
I kind of agree. I wouldn't go with an A. I think Rousseau has a lot to prove in the pros. I think he's not a risky pick. He's definitely a safe floor guy. So I think he's going to fit in well with the scheme that they have there. I would give it more like a B, just because it's a safe floor. I don't see a lot of high ceiling out of him. I don't really see him going to the Pro Bowl or anything like that.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I know that a big thing with Rousseau is, I know he had that, I think it was 15 sack season his freshman year, and he has the physical traits to be dominant, but he just doesn't have the pass rush moves. He needs to be developed, and I think this is a great pairing because Sean McDermott, dude, he is a stud. He's a good defensive coach. He gets the most out of his players, so I think this is kind of a match made in heaven for they needed him. He has the upside, and they also have the coaching to help kind of get that out of him. So I agree. I like this pick. So there's the AFC East. Now we're going to head over to the AFC South. And I think this one will be taken by Doc.
Yes, sir. So I'll start off with my favorite team out of the AFC South, the Tennessee. I really love what they did with getting the top 12 talent at number 22. Getting Kayla Farley. Some GMs just really not scared away by the injury concerns. I know he had an ACL injury. I know he a while back, and then the back surgery. People were kind of scared off by that, but it was really a minor surgery. And if he rehabs correctly, does his thing, he definitely has the talent to bring that physicality, and it should be fun to watch with his size and length. I think the Titans did great with that one. I'll give him a B+. Kayla Farley.
Yeah, Kayla Farley's a stud. I would even fringe to go in the A tier just because he was, earlier in the draft process, they were putting him above Surtain and above Horn for a while. And that's high praise. And if you get arguably a guy with the potential to be the top corner in the class at 22, wow. And it's at a position of need after getting rid of, who'd they just get rid of?
Dory Jackson.
Dory Jackson.
Jackson,
big hole to fill.
Yeah, so a great move by the Titans. I love that analysis too, Doc. Let's go ahead and who you got next in the AFC South?
All right, so I'll go ahead and get this one out the way with the Jacksonville Jags. They typically don't like to make the boring picks. This is a team that makes, the picks that make you want to pick them on Madden. So they kind of really got the ball rolling with Trevor Lawrence. Got your franchise quarterback. The kid's been really good since he was, in middle school. So can't lose to Trevor Lawrence. But the interesting pick was Travis Etienne, which I think was the best running back in the draft. They could have went with, more needs, positional needs like a defensive tackle or even O-line, but, the Jags just don't make boring picks. So I think that Etienne can at least be a third down running back, if not challenge James Robinson for his spot. And they made it work with James Robinson, so I really like the pick. So I got to get a Jags an A.
Ooh, giving the Jags an A. I like it. I mean, yeah, you get your franchise left. You get your franchise QB, and then you use your second round pick or your second first round pick kind of on a luxury on Travis Etienne. Could be a home run hitter and could really unlock that offense and support Trevor Lawrence, because that's what you got to do. He's your guy. He's your guy now. So I agree, man. I agree. I like the moves that they did.
Absolutely.
Okay, so next up in the AFC South, the Texans do not have a pick. They traded it for Tunsil. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Colts.
Yeah, so we'll go with the Colts. And I know we skipped over the Texans, but let's just remember that they did get Laramie Tunsil out of that, so you can't really say that they're losing with that. But the Texans are the Texans. But the Colts, they go and get Kwity Paye at the 21st pick, which is another safe floor. The guy's athleticism is through the roof. He reminds me of a Brandon Graham, that's coming off of the edge. Safe floor guy, really lengthy, super athletic. I think it's a great pick for the Colts to fill in that edge rush spot. So I got to get a Colts an A-.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good pick there. The Kwity Paye is a very Colts pick of very high floor, a solid starter, can really be part of a solid, good unit. Not really a superstar or a game wrecker, but I mean, man, dude, Kwity Paye's hands are phenomenal. He can really do a lot. So yeah, I like that pick as well.
The Colts defense was one of the best last year, and they're adding a really good player, so that's just a great pick for them.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That is the AFC South. Next, we're going to head over to the AFC North, and I'll be grading that one. So I'm going to start off with the Bengals, right? They picked wide receiver Jamar Chase. This pick had me scratching my head, right? I was just looking at a picture of Joe Burrow's ACL, of his scar from his ACL surgery, and you picked wide receiver. I just didn't get it. I know you have that connection. Jamar Chase is electric. I like their wide receiver room as is. I'm giving this pick a C. Not because Jamar Chase isn't good or he's not worth a top 5 pick, but because you have glaring needs at that O-line. You should have gone Sewell or Slater, solidified your O-line, protected Burrow, and also, I mean, you have Joe Mixon. He's your highest paid offensive player. Give him someone to block for him. Give him room to run. Give him room in space. So this pick was just not the right pick in my eyes. Good player, just not at the right position.
Yeah, basically all you have to say for this is insert the meme of Jamar Chase standing wide open and Joe Burrow dead in the backfield. That's what that pick sums up.
That's what you're gonna get. But I will say, and this is gonna be interesting to see today, because this is a very deep offensive lineman draft. So I think that they can kind of make up for it. But man, Penei Sewell is just a insert Pro Bowl,
generational talent.
Yeah, exactly. So I gotta agree with you on that one, Evo.
All right, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the Steelers, and they've selected running back Najee Harris. And Najee Harris, a phenomenal player. I love this kid. I know you said Travis Etienne was your running back 1. I think Najee's my running back 1. I think the way he's improved as a pass catcher last year has really shown a lot. He's a stud. He's gonna be amazing. But with how the Steelers are, they have no alignment. They lost like 3 of their starting alignment. They didn't have a run game last year. I don't know if you think that's a player thing or a scheme thing. I think that was more of a scheme thing. So picking a running back, a luxury pick, when your team is getting decimated up front, I just don't know if that's the move. I'm giving this pick a B-.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think James Conner or any other the running backs that they tried to hit, the last few drafts, it hadn't panned out really. So I think you go with somebody solid like Najee. But once again, just like the Jamar Chase pick, are we going? This isn't Madden. You gotta get some guys to get your core straight. Get the O-line ready. So I agree with that one as well, Evo.
I agree. Thank you. 2 solid in a row. Okay. Man, I'm just hating on the AFC North. We got the Browns next up. Cornerback Greg Newsome. And again, 3 times in a row. Great player. Bad fit. I mean, you got Denzel Ward, and then you also have Greedy Williams, right? It's like, are you giving up on him? Is that what you're doing? You're taking Greg Newsome when you have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah on the board, and you don't take him with a glaring need at linebacker, or Christian Barmore with a glaring need on interior D-line. I just don't get it. He's a good player, a stud corner, but just not a good fit here. I just don't understand why they didn't go linebacker or interior D-line. So I'm giving this one a C as well.
Yeah, I have to agree. I was at the draft and I was talking to a lot of Browns fans because they were literally flooding the fucking draft, how many people there were. And everybody I talked to said they need linebacker. Obviously, that's their glaring hole on defense. And it would just question me. They have good corners, and you take another one. It's just, what are you doing?
Yeah. And they're in a run-heavy division, too. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. You need somebody to stop the run. So.
Agreed. People are saying that the Browns could win a Super Bowl, but you have to be the best team in your division, and I don't know if they could beat the Ravens. But we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. Speaking of the Ravens, they're up next, and with their first pick, they picked wide receiver Rashad Bateman. I love this pick. This has to be one of the best fits in the draft for me because you get Lamar a weapon, right? And not only that, but he fits the scheme perfectly. He's big enough to block. He's great with his routes, especially over the middle of the field, which is what that Ravens offense attacks. They run and they throw it over the middle. They don't really throw it outside the numbers too much, right? So a lot of these other guys, they wouldn't really fit. But dude, Rashad Bateman is a perfect fit here. I'm giving this pick an A. And then Jason Owe. Another perfect fit, dude. A power rusher, a guy with all the tools, dude. He didn't really have the production, but the Ravens organization is known for churning out pass rushers, right? You just get the physical guys and you'll make them great. Look at what happened to Zadarius Smith. Everyone goes out of Baltimore and gets paid somewhere else for a reason, dude. Jason Owe here is just a great fit for them. I think he's going to have a better career with the Ravens than he would with other teams. And so I'm giving the Ravens an A+ for this draft. They had 2 needs, and they solidified it with perfect fits without reaching.
Yeah, completely agree, man. I think Bateman is the best. Yeah. I think Bateman has the best hands in the class. I love that pick, the Bateman pick. And, of course, you said on the mock draft, Evo always is a sleeper, man. So I think that the Ravens did a great job of picking those 2 guys.
Yeah, always one of those guys. He has all the physical talent. He just needs to put it together, needs to get developed as a pass rusher, and the Ravens do that to a T. That is their thing. So I think they just slayed the draft. They did a phenomenal job, and then maybe later round 2 they can address that right tackle position. So there's the AFC North. Let's go ahead and swing on over to the AFC West, and I believe we have Doc picking up this one.
All right, yeah, let's go. All right, so we got the Chiefs. They didn't pick anything, but Patrick Mahomes. So A+ for the Chiefs. The Raiders doing what the Raiders do, man. I think since Mike Mayock has gotten over there, he tries to do way too much, and he reached for my guy Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. But the guy is an athletic freak, really. I love how he blocks downfield. I'm pretty sure Jacobs, loves that pick. So I'll give him a B on that pick for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Leatherwood was definitely a reach. I think he's viewed as a day 2 tackle. But I do think last year he was a round 1 guy. You know what I mean? He was really dominant last year. And so I think the Raiders are hoping they can tap into that potential. One thing I want to question, though, is they have Colton Miller. And he's kind of played pretty well at left tackle. Does Leatherwood go to guard here? And if so, as an Alabama fan, is that better for him as a player?
Exactly. That's the thing. If they can get him in like some pulling plays and stuff like that, his blocking downfield is top notch. So it seems like a reach, but I gotta trust the Raiders and what they're doing in their scheme. He's definitely a scheme pick. But they definitely reach. They're known to go and get their guy.
All right, who you got next?
All right, so we got the Chargers going to get Rashawn Slater. I think this is an excellent pick for the Chargers. I love the heart of Rashawn Slater. He's a grinder. I think he's going to do a great job of protecting, Herbert, man. Herbert panned out great. So let's get some more protection around him. I got to give him an A for Rashawn Slater.
Could not agree more, dude. Protect your franchise QB. Great pick by them. And I think Slater kind of fell a little bit. That was a good pick for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there's the Chargers pick. And now, Doc, what do you have for the Broncos?
Man, the Broncos, they get my guy Patrick Surtain, who could have easily been considered the top cornerback in the draft, man. And I did not expect them to get this pick, and neither did the Cowboys. But he's one of my favorite guys in the draft. I think he's a strong press guy. You put him anywhere, very physical player. And in that division, they need a physical cornerback to win off the line. So I got to get him a B for that one. It's going to be interesting to see what Surtain does with the rest of the DBs in that scheme. But Surtain is just a guy that you can plug anywhere. So we'll give him a B plus. I'll go to B plus with Surtain.
B plus. Yeah, I think Surtain's a stud. He's my top corner in the draft. That secondary is going to be nice. Him and Fuller with that pass rush of Von Miller and Chubb. Ooh, that defense is looking good. I will say, is Drew Lock the guy? I mean, you have Fields on the board. Is Drew Lock the guy in your eyes?
Yeah, that was a head-scratching move, but literally Vic Fangio's trying to build his God Squad defense. I miss him so much. And Kyle Fuller. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Kyle Fuller and Patrick Surtain with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. With Simmons at safety, that defense might be one of the best in the league. Just remember that.
Agreed. Yep. So we'll have to wait and see. I know there's rumors about Rodgers going to the Broncos as well. Hopefully that doesn't happen as a Packers fan. But if it does, I mean, Broncos might be Super Bowl contenders.
Peyton Manning 2.0.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you can't draft a QB, just trade or sign for a legend. You know, it works. Trust me. Okay. Well, thank you for your analysis on that, Doc. That was awesome. Good stuff on the AFC West. So next, we're going to head over to the NFC, and we're going to hit the NFC East, and I'll go ahead and take this one. Starting off with the Eagles. They traded up 2 spots, gave up a 3rd-round pick for Devonta Smith, dude. Heisman winner. I like this pick a lot, especially because the Giants end up going wide receiver. You get your guy at a position of need. With Horn off the board, with Surtain off the board, I don't like any DBs here, so you got to get the 3rd best wide receiver, or some people think 2nd or even 1st best wide receiver. And this is the thing about this is Devonta Smith has to be a lock for a solid starter. He's a great player, and the Eagles have not had that. They've missed in the draft, so it's so nice that they finally have a wide receiver. I'm giving this pick an A.
I 1000% agree with you, Evo. Literally, all I've been hearing the past 2 years was Eagles have no weapons. Carson Wentz can't do anything with no weapons. And the Eagles organization basically said, here's your weapon, Jalen Hurts. Let's see what you can do. And hopefully he breaks out. I'm excited to see what he does.
All right, so the next team up, I'm going to go and hit up the Cowboys. They traded back, gained a 3rd, and still got Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, I think, is a dynamic playmaker. But you have Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith. This is not a position of need. I get the Cowboys kind of got hoed in the draft with the 2 best corners going right before them, but I would have even traded down further from this spot. I'm going to go and give this pick a B- because he's a good player, but it's just, you need DBs. You need cornerbacks, man. They can't cover anybody.
Yeah, I feel like the Cowboys got screwed heavy. I feel like they were just like, I feel like they only had one plan going in the draft, and those 2 corners went, and they were just frozen, and they took the best defensive player available. And, I mean, he could be a stud, yeah, but like you said, you already have great linebackers, so it was kind of a not good pick, in my opinion.
Yep. Next up, Jameen Davis, linebacker, going to the Washington football team. He's a speedy guy. He's really rose up draft boards. I'm going to go and give this pick a B. It's addressing a position of need. Actually, I'll even say a B+. It's addressing a position of need, really adding on to a strength and making this Washington football team defense even better. So I like that. I like that pick. It's not super wow. It's not superstar potential, but it's a good pick. It's a good pick for a good solid team.
Yeah, facts. I really like that pick. Adding depth in a position of need is I really like that a lot. So I really agree with that pick.
And then next up, the New York Giants select wide receiver Kadarius Toney. Toney is twitchy. He is fast. He is crazy when you get him the ball. But he doesn't run the best routes. He doesn't have the contested catch ability. He doesn't have the best hands, right? And so if Toney went to a team like the Chiefs or someone who can scheme open players, I would love it. I haven't seen that from Jason Garrett and the Giants. So the pick itself, I don't like too much, especially because I like that wide receiver room. I really wanted them to go JOK or get a linebacker or even edge here. But the fact that they traded back and picked up an extra first, I think kind of balances it out. So I'm going to go and give them a B. I think factoring in the first round next year that they got and getting a wide receiver, this is the year. Is Danny Dimes worth it, right? You got it to get that eval year. And I guess that's what they're trying to do. So I'm going to go and try and give them a B here. What do you guys think?
I agree. I feel like comparing him to another guy I said earlier, Zach Wilson, I feel like Toney has a very high ceiling, but he also has the lowest floor. Like, I feel like he has a lot of potential to be a great receiver. If he really works hard, gets his route running, like, I feel like he could be an electric player next to Galladay and Slayton. And now, and Saquon coming back, that would be a great offense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My friend Petey, Giants fan, right? He said he has a high ceiling. He could be amazing, but he also could be a Percy Harvin or a Tavon Austin. He could just not really work out and just be kind of misused. But interesting pick to say at least. I mean, the fact that they got a first means that this pick isn't a bust, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, if the Bears do flop, hopefully they don't, please God, no. But if they do flop, that pick's going to be really good and they're going to have 2 firsts. So, yeah, you can't really say this is a bust either way.
Yeah, and the thing on Toney too, if you just look at his highlights, man, he does things a little different, man. He makes things happen even if the route is dead. He uses his athleticism and just his quickness to kind of get open. Similar to kind of like a Justin Jefferson. He can kind of make a route happen, no matter what the play is.
Yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting pick. Gonna be something fun to watch, man. Definitely makes the Giants a lot more watchable. I mean, their offense was rated like 27th last year, so they need that. They need watchability. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and hit the NFC South. And Doc, I know your team's here, so go ahead and you take this division. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I'm going to get the boring one out the way. The Saints, they get the guy out of Houston. I can't even remember his name right now.
Peyton Turner.
Yeah, Peyton Turner. Yeah, he's I get it. They want to add some edge rush in case, Cam Jordan is over his prime and, you still have Davenport on his rookie contract. So I get it. But they could have went with a guy, I would have loved to have seen Gregory Rizzo go there or, somebody else besides Peyton. I saw him going a lot deeper. So I got to get a Saints a C on that one.
C's kind of generous in my eyes, but yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah. The Saints are down terrible right now. They got no money. They're starting Jameis Winston at quarterback, and you make that selection. If I'm a Saints fan, I'm crying, literally.
Right, we should get KJ on stream, Faith Cam. I want to see some KJ tears.
I do think Jameis is gonna go legend this year, man. I think he still got a lot of juice left.
Hot take.
You think the new Lasix, he's not going to throw 30 picks anymore?
Definitely the Lasix, man. Definitely with the Lasix. He's going to get it done, man. Jameis is that guy.
All right, there we go. All right, who else you got? What other teams in that NFC South?
All right, man. Let's go over to Carolina, man, which they really shook up the draft as well, getting J.C. Horn that early, man. But I actually love that pick. They're in a division with, very physical outside receivers. So they got to get somebody to help Dante Jackson out. I love what they're doing with the young, speedy, physical defense that they have. If he can get a little bit more discipline off the line, he got whooped by all the SEC receivers, recently. But I think you can teach that. So I got to get Panthers an A on that pick.
I agree, dude. J.C. Horn he's something special, man. He has comps to Ramsey. He has a very high ceiling. I agree he needs coached up a little bit, but that it's making that Panthers defense, which is already young, but he's a cornerstone that you want there. I agree.
Yeah, I love what the Panthers are building. They bring in Sam Darnold. They got a great young coaching staff, and then you add what could be one of the best corners in a long time to your already young defense. The Panthers in a couple years might be a Super Bowl contender. Literally, it's a great pick.
Quick question here, just for fun: if you're the Panthers GM and you just traded for Sam Darnold and Justin Fields is on the board, do you take him?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Nah.
It just feels like a wasted pick. I could see if Sam Darnold was like older, like 31-ish, 30, like past 30, but he's still 24. I mean, if you do fail, you could just take a quarterback in the first next year, to be honest.
There you go. Panthers young team, a lot of expectations. What team you got next, Doc?
Let's get Tampa Bay out the way as well. They go and get Joe Tryon, which is actually a smart pick. He kind of fits into that scheme, with the power rush, and it's a very undervalued, trait when you're talking about pass rushers, but he can kind of fill in like a William Golston role or Ndamukong Suh. So with them doing that at the pick that they had, I got to give them like a B on that one. I think that was a smart pick.
I agree. It's edge was a sneaky need for them because you have JPP and you have Shaq Barrett, but you need someone for the future. I think he can learn a lot from those players, so I think it's a good pick. I think they're going to be a scary team looking to repeat here, so hopefully Brady falls off a cliff and just dies, but yeah, we'll see.
Never. Literally, it's never going to happen. He's playing until he's 50.
Bro, okay, Tom Brady is the only quarterback in history to be 3-1 in playoff games where he's thrown 3 interceptions or more.
Tom Brady gets bailed out literally
all the time.
This is a whole nother tangent, but
don't get me on a rant, bro.
I'm glad we all agree.
Don't get me on a rant.
Okay, and the last team in the NFC South, your team, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes, sir, man. So this is a tough one for me, man, because I really wanted them to get Fields at this pick. I think Fields can extend the plays and make things happen for that offense, but you cannot disagree with the Kyle Pitts pick here. Kyle Pitts is a generational talent. He's kind of like a Tony Gonzalez or a Shannon Sharp. You can literally put Kyle Pitts, halfback, slot, tight end, wherever you want to do. The kid is just a different factor. And you add that to Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. I know Matt Ryan was smiling that night when they picked Kyle Pitts instead of a quarterback. So you got to go with an A, man, just because of the athletic freak that Kyle Pitts is, man.
There we go. I like it. Yeah, Pitts is insane. I mean, this offense, what is your goal? What is your expectations for this offense with Julio, Pitts, Ridley, Hayden Hurst?
Yeah.
Like, what's your top 5, top 7, top 3? Like, what's your expectations for him?
Yeah.
I know Doc might not say 1, but I'm saying 1, to be honest. Who's guarding every single player on that team? It's literally unguardable.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no excuses for Matt Ryan right here. And I think this is where what I've been saying about Matt Ryan all these years, I think is going to show right here. If they not the number 1 offense, then you got to look at the quarterback here.
Wow, number 1. We're putting our expectations that high. I like it. I like it a lot. Wow. There we go. There's the NFC South. Now we're gonna head over to the NFC North, and we got Dante on the call here. What you got, Don?
So the NFC North, we're going to start with the Detroit Lions, and they got an absolute steal in the draft. I literally, at the draft live, I was telling everybody Sewell's going to the Bengals, Lions getting Chase. Chase would have been a great pick for the Lions, but Sewell, a generational talent, just falls in their lap. And that is, I got to give that an A+ right here. I think that's probably one of the best moves of the draft, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I agree, man. I mean, he fits a need, and not only that, but he fits where they are as a team. They're not a win-now team, right? They're a team that needs to rebuild, needs to build up and develop, and that's what Sewell needs to do. He has all the physical traits, man. He is insane, but he needs to work a little bit on his technique, and so now he gets a year to do that, a year to develop, and he doesn't have the highest expectations. I agree. Home run pick right here. Home run pick.
So with the next team, we have my Chicago Bears. And we made the best move in the draft. We moved up from number 20 to number 11. And we took the Ohio State man, Justin Fields. And you already know, I got personal preference. I'm giving this one an A+. The Bears obviously needed a quarterback. We had 90-year-old body Nick Foles. He's not going to get it done. We have literally the definition of average Andy Dalton. Every Bears fan in America was clamoring for Justin Fields to get picked. Ryan Pace finally had the balls. He called up the Giants, moved up, took the guy. And if Fields had potential to be a superstar in this league, if that happens, the Bears might actually have a good quarterback in their lifetime. It's exciting to say.
Crazy, dude. I think Fields is my QB2 in the class. The fact that you gave up 2 firsts to get the second best quarterback at 11, and you look at the 49ers who gave up 3 firsts to get the third best at 3, that shows a lot. I think you guys got a steal in Fields. I think the draft happened perfectly for the Bears, and this is a franchise-changing move. Franchise-altering, man. It is crazy how now your future is bright. Now you guys look like contenders. As a Packer fan, I thought this division was GG too easy, man. It's done. It's ours already. The only one going to contend for us was the Vikings. And now the Bears are back in the mix. The Bears are back. And that's scary. The Bears are back.
The Bears are back.
Completely agree with that, man. I think Fields might be the best, to me, is the best quarterback in the draft when you add in what he can bring to a team.
Hot take, not Trevor Lawrence.
Not Trevor Lawrence, man. I mean, if you go back to the Elite 11 days, man, Fields gave Trevor Lawrence a lot of comp, man. And I think, to be honest, Lawrence just went to a better situation when they went to college. Fields makes things happen, man. He's not a guy that, Dez plays, which a lot of people can see that as a con in the pros, but he has the arm talent, he has the speed to make it happen. So I love the Fields pick. They can do whatever for the rest of the draft. They had the best draft of this year.
All right, so next up we have the Minnesota Vikings, and they took the offensive tackle Christian Darrinshaw, and I think this was a great pick for them. They traded down from their spot and still got him, as this was a very deep offensive tackle class, and the fact that he still fell to them after they traded down to get more assets, I'd have to give this one an A. I think this was a great pick.
I agree. A lot of people had him as their third best offensive tackle. A lot of people would have been okay with him picking at that higher spot before they traded down. So the fact they trade down and still get their guy, great pick for him. And they kind of recoup some assets. They got 2/3 in that deal, and it kind of helps balance out the second that they threw out for who's that? Yannick Ngakoue. The second that they kind of waste on him, it kind of helps make up for that. So good move by the Vikings. Good move.
And let's get Cook and all those guys some help, man. Darrinshaw is definitely the guy for the Vikings. I think they got blessed right there.
So the last team is Evo's Green Bay Packers, and they took a cornerback after Kevin King got raped in the NFC Championship, as we all know. They took Eric Stokes. Now, Eric Stokes has a lot of upside to be great. He's probably one of the fastest people in the draft. He's got very good ball skills. He could be a great jammer in the league, and his size and speed are amazing. He has a great chance to develop into a great corner, but he also has a very low floor. I'd give this one a B. I think Evo would know more about me because he's a fan, so I'll let him take this one away.
I agree, Dante. I think a B is right on the nail in the head right there, because it's not a good pick and it's not a bad pick. It's an okay pick. It's a Packers pick. Taking a first-round DB with some high upside, but you need to develop him. We haven't really shown the ability to develop too many DBs, with Jair Alexander as the exception. We take a lot of first-round DBs that are bust, so I'm scared for that. But he has the physical traits to be a stud. And having him across from Jair is insanely awesome. I think what kind of holds this pick back is the dissatisfaction that Rodgers has shown. And so the fact that we didn't get a wide receiver here, you got Rondell Moore, Elijah Moore, a lot of good guys here. The fact that we didn't go that to give him some help and make him happy makes me concerned. And I just really hope he plays for us. So yeah, I would agree B is a good pick. It's not good, it's not bad. It just kind of leaves you being meh. It's a meh pick, Well, there's the NFC North. And last but not least, we have the NFC West. And this one's quick and easy. Only 2 teams had picks in this draft. The Rams did not have a first, and the Seahawks also did not have a first.
LOL, Jamal Adams. LOL.
So let's start off with the 49ers, trading 3 firsts to go up for QB Trey Lance. Oh, wow, dude. I don't know how I feel about this pick, honestly, because I love Trey Lance as a prospect. He has insanely high upside. He has a low floor. He didn't show a lot in college. He didn't play against the best comp in college. He's shown accuracy issues, so he has bust potential, but he's landing in the best system out of all the rookie QBs, right? So I think because of that, I'm going to go and give this a B+. You're getting a guy who can get you over the hump and can win you a Super Bowl. That's what the 49ers need. They want a ring. They're giving up their future for a ring. They're in the most competitive division, and they're making moves to stay on top of that division. I like it. B+ for me. What do you guys think?
I completely agree with that one, man. And it's very interesting. People forget that the 49ers were not too long ago in the Super Bowl, and the difference in that game, Jimmy Garoppolo sucked. If you get somebody like Trey Lance that can kind of make things happen, he has accuracy issues, but that can be worked on. But the heart, the skill, the talent, everything else, athleticism is there. And I think, you pair him up with that 49ers team, and I think he's ready to take off.
Yeah, I do really agree with this pick. Thank God they didn't take Mac Jones. That would have been a big laugh. That would have been a big laugh from my part. But they took Trey Lance. Trey Lance has a lot of potential, and he's already getting put onto a stack team. Like, just imagine going to a team with George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. You got them boys in there. Raheem Mostert still.
Brandon
that
Ayuk
is just a
too.
Great Brandon Ayuk. Yes.
The best play
well.
callers in Shanahan.
Shanahan, one of the best defenses once Nick Bosa and them boys come back. It's just, I like this pick. I agree with you, Evo.
Yeah. Just they had to sacrifice their future for it. That's why it's not an A for me personally. But so next up we got linebacker Zaven Collins going to the Cardinals. This one I was scratching my head on. The Cardinals needed a DB. I really thought they were gonna go corner, and instead they go Zaven Collins. And Zaven Collins is a run-stopping linebacker. He's not really the best coverage guy, and he's big, he's strong, and so I think having the size of this Cardinals D-line is gonna be insane. You got J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, you got Zaven Collins. I was even maybe seeing that they were gonna go interior D-line. So I don't love the pick. I don't hate the pick. I'm just kind of left wanting more from the pick. So I'm going to go and give this one a B.
Yeah, I like the pick, actually. I think Zaven Collins, I think he's underrated because he went to Tulsa. But, athleticism and size, he's there. And you just add even more to that freakishly athletic Cardinals defense. And I think they're preparing themselves to get ready for Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And I think that Zaven Collins slides in and can kind of play like an Anthony Barrow over there in that defense. So I kind of like that pick.
So him next to Isaiah Simmons will be nice.
I don't know how to feel about this pick. I feel like they're just rolling the dice because if Ben Simmons hit, that could be a scary ass linebacking core for the future. But if it doesn't hit and they didn't draft that cornerback after losing Pat Pete, this is going to be a flop of a pick.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all 32 teams. All of the divisions covered. We got your draft grades. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hey, Doc, Dante, thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to talk some football with me, man. You guys have great insight. The draft was so much fun. Thank you for making this vid with me, man.
Yes, sir, Evo. Yes, sir.
Any parting
I am ready
comments?
for the reboot, man.
Ready for the reboot.
I am ready for the reboot.
You want to do a quick little top 3 teams that you got in your mind right now?
Man, off top, we're looking at Atlanta. I'm loving the 49ers. I don't like the Bears, but of course Baltimore. Wow. I love Lamar, man.
There you go.
I never liked the Bears, man.
Wow.
It just is what it is,
Wow. So that's the best part about Reboot, man, is every single team now has something to look forward to. Every team has something to develop. Every team is attainable and wantable and enticing. So it's going to be a fun time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Yes, sir.